Hey guys, GameBangz is back with another podcast brought to you by Devin, yours truly, and then Jordan, the co-creator of GameBangz.com, and we have our staff writer Joe here. And today we're going to be talking about our most memorable gaming experience, possibly what our favorites are, and what gives us the best nostalgia. Jordan, you can go first, man. What is your game? What describes Jordan?
There's a lot.
Mmm.
There's a lot, but
Jordan's a complex guy.
He's a complex guy.
to really narrow it down, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid from 1998, PS1 version.
Nostalgia. We going back in time.
Yes.
Doctor Who in this shit.
I I remember playing the first version of Metal Gear Solid in Spanish.
So, all right, you told
Spanish.
me about that.
So, I didn't first hear David Hayter's voice. I heard some Spaniard.
Some
Spaniard.
You damn Spaniards.
Talking, that trying to emulate David Hayter. It wasn't until I got here.
Hola, me gusta Metal Gear.
It's horrible. It wasn't until you let me borrow your copy of Metal Gear that I heard David's voice.
Ooh, I jump-started your life.
Kind of. And the version I played back there, it started off as the Japanese demo.
Oh.
That was the first time I actually
So you
played.
pretty much played in every language but English at the beginning.
Yeah. The demo that my PS1 came with was the Japanese demo. So I didn't understand jack shit of what was going on.
But that didn't matter.
That did not fucking stop me.
That did not stop you. That did not stop Jordan.
I got the pirated copy. Now bear with me. I lived in a third world country back then. I lived in South America. I lived in South America where you buy pirated games wherever the fuck you go.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sounds great.
The thing is, though,
you have to walk down the streets of Pirate Bay.
Thing is, you never know what version of the game you're getting because it was just pretty much.
It's a party mix.
Yeah. You were taking a risk. You see Digimon in the cover. You don't know if you're getting the English version, the European version, or the Japanese version. Mm-hmm. So when I got Metal Gear, I got the Spanish version that was, I guess, the European, I want to say.
The European Spanish
Yeah,
version?
European Spanish.
The fuck is going on over here?
But no, I mean...
David Hayter and a sombrero.
Yeah, definitely when I got to play the English version of Metal Gear, that's when I grew... I don't want to say obsessive.
I want to say obsessive. I know you.
Shut up. But yes, obsessive. To where the point it was just one of those games that I could replay over and over again without really getting bored of it. So when we fast forward to Metal Gear Solid 4, and you go back to Shadow Moses in MGS4, and you hear the best is yet to come, which was the ending credit song of MGS1.
That was the song of Metal Gear Solid 1.
That was a kick in the nads of nostalgia.
Seriously.
Because, you walk...
Do you remember how much fun you had with this? Well, fuck you. You do now, you little bitch.
We're going to make you cry about it, too. And then you walk to the certain areas and you hear the conversations from the PS1 version.
Oh yeah, they play the voices in your head type thing.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because one of the biggest moments that just made me so fucking depressed when I played that part is where you go into the room and you see the surveillance camera and you press I think it was triangle or X to have the flashback. And you see it lit up, and then the camera just drops.
That was so
I fucking
sad.
cried.
It was heartbreaking. I love that camera. It's killed me so many times.
And you hear Snake's a surveillance camera. Oh my god, that game was just so.
That was
awesome.
a fucking 20-year backtrack.
Yeah.
Almost. Now it's that came out 2006.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn, dude. MGS4 has almost been out for 10 years.
Yeah.
The fuck is going on in our lives?
It's been a fucking while.
Yeah.
And you can use the camera to take pictures of the ghosts.
All right.
So
Right.
if you go to where Sniper Wolf died and you snap the picture, you see Sniper Wolf, or if you take the picture next to Rex's feet, you see Gray Fox.
That's gotta be a sad one.
That sucked because Gray Fox is like my
Bitch got
favorite
curb
character.
stomped and shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I want to play.
But,
You're making me want to backtrack.
I
I was doing the first video walkthrough for Metal Gear Solid 1, and I actually completed it, and I'm gonna redo it, but now I have to redo it with you.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna relive this together. All right,
Yes.
we'll hold hands too. I mean, we'll just make it an evening.
Bring the Kleenex.
Yeah,
I'll get the
Kleenex. A couple of candles from 99-cent store because we're not
classy
fancy.
bastards. No, we're classy bastards.
Yeah, we're not fancy, but we're not cheap either. Willing to spend money and go balls deep.
Yeah.
With Kleenexes.
But like just that whole level of MGS4 when you go back to Shadow Moses, and what like this one threw me as a surprise when you get to actually control Rex and beat the shit out of Ray.
That's because back in 1998, everyone and their fucking mom was like, "I want to drive it. I want to control Rex. I want to launch a nuke in America." Everyone still does that one, but but yeah, I think Hideo Kojima was like, you know what? It's been about 10 years. Just fucking give it to him. They're only gonna have it for like 10 minutes. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Just give it to him.
Yeah.
It's like, yay!
Yeah. And I don't know, you know how you can collect the iTunes songs?
Oh, right,
in
right.
there too. So like my most played songs is The Best Yet to Come on that. The Theme of Tara, because they have both versions there. They have the Metal Gear Solid VR Missions one, and they have the original one from when the game came out. What was it, console? Or Nintendo? Or
Which one?
The Metal Gear.
MSX?
Yeah.
It was on MSX.
MSX, that one. Because the Theme of Tara originated in those.
Actually, they did take those MSX games, which were the originals, and they did. I don't know if they put both of them or one of them, but they did put it on the regular Nintendo.
Oh, I see.
I know that for sure. I just I don't know if it was one or both of them, but I definitely know the original were MSX.
I see.
As shown in the title when you load it anyway.
Right. But yeah, definitely Metal Gear 4 was one of the games that really brought out the feels from Metal Gear Solid.
Because they're like, you know what? I don't want this legendary game that fucking transitioned my invention into a legend.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to forget the roots. And I think that's what he was trying to go for.
And the ending, when Solid Snake talks to Big Boss about everything that fucking happened, and Snake is dying. No, you don't fucking do that to people. That's cruel.
No, man.
That is cruel.
You make them meet face to face.
Yeah.
Who would have thought in 98, who would have thought in the 80s period you would ever see Big Boss and Snake meet face to face after Big Boss supposedly was killed by his hands?
Yeah.
Damn.
That was fucking crazy. That's
no one saw that coming.
That's a game that like hits you right in the feels.
Right in the feels box. What about you, Joe? What game you got?
I got Gears of War. You guys haven't played it because you guys are PlayStation people.
Yeah, I guess I've played part 1 briefly. I didn't like it too much. Something about just big bulky dudes with guns. it's just a game that I feel like is trying to scream out, "I'm man and you are too if you play me." It's like kind of feels that way.
I liked everything about it. Not everything, but like there was a few things that just like were awesome. Like the Lancer, the chainsaw gun.
The chainsaw gun.
Dude, that was
fucking
like
legit.
that was so fucking sick. And then like I used to snipe, so sniping was my shit. And then like I used to love when you used to get headshots, dude. They used to make this sound like you're like biting into an apple, just like
there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's part of the fucking nostalgia that we're going for here. It's minor, mundane details that no one else would ever give two shits about. And then you think you know what? It's that crunching sound that reminds me of the game. Yeah. It's like it reminds me of the fun I used to have sitting in the back and blowing your motherfucking head off.
Yeah. It was that, and then Gears of War 1 was just like so like I don't know. It wasn't messed up, but like there was so many glitches and like you could just cheat in so many ways. I remember fucking like doing this backflip shit. You could run into the wall and then just like press it down A really fast, and you would do this huge backflip and be able to jump tall buildings. And just like nobody could get to you. It was just
That's funny. Was this like online?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
There was, like,
Cheating bastards.
Oh fuck it! It's like
you know,
Counter-Strike 1.6, man.
Yeah,
Everyone
you
shoots
just-
through walls and shit.
Yeah, and then you could just like I remember if you used to run into a wall fast enough and like did like a specific buttons, like you would fall to the floor and you could shoot up through the floor
Really?
and just like mow people down. They couldn't shoot through you because
That's
you're.
horrible.
It was one of the best games ever when it lasted.
Shit, man. That sounds like it sounds like you'd have fun.
How about you, Devin?
No, man, you don't even want to get my ass started because it's all no, seriously, it's all about timing, and I know that it sounds weird, so let me explain. For example, my happiest moments were with a Sega.
Mm-hmm.
I never technically owned a Super Nintendo. I had one in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, big brother, little brother thing. This was stepbrother and little stepbrother,
Right.
and it's just kind of like, this is mine. I own these really cool games that I'll let you watch me play, but don't you fucking touch it, kind of thing.
Right.
But again,
Well, it's
it does go in. I love Metal Gear Solid 1. In the series, personally, my favorite would be 3 because the storyline just really got me. But then 3 doesn't give me nostalgia. 3 stands out to me. 3 has a great soundtrack. 3 has a very deep storyline that really makes you fucking depressed, man.
Yeah.
Just by itself, that game makes you depressed. Not even knowing the overall chronological story. And then fucking going back, though, like, one of my biggest games is, like, Final Fantasy 11.
I see.
Specifically. And I can contest to that given the fact that I literally... And it's depressing as fuck to openly say it because now I'm thinking about it and it is depressing me. I literally spent 10 years of my life on that video game. It's an online game, but know that, like...
Oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah, know that, like, about a year of it was in the storyline. It was all grinding and leveling up and, you know, like, crafting and, you know, all that stuff. But then... But those weren't the important things to me. The important things were, like, some of the soundtracks they had. Some of the music. It was so mellow. It was just so calming. And it was one of those games where if you're having a bad day, you can just log on. You don't have to fight shit. You don't have to talk to people. If you're like in a clan or something, you can unequip it because it was used as an item. You can unequip it if you want some like alone time in game, as weird as it sounds. And then you can just fucking walk into your favorite area. And one of my favorite areas was called the Sanctuary of Zeta. And in that area were trees so large you couldn't see the top. And these were wide trees, and it was cluttered. It was a forest. It was a sanctuary. And it was extremely foggy. It was moody. And then there was a flute-like melody that plays. A very calming sound. And it gets to a point where this game was... The level design and the music was so well done and so well put together that you would literally log on just to go to a spot to relax. You don't even play. You just go there and just enjoy the scenery and listen to the music.
Right.
And those things really fucking hit you in the feels. And then there are times like I think about like days I've had like rough days when I was like a really, really young kid. And then I would pop in like a Sega game at like 2 in the morning, and it's so dark, you know, everything is dark, and then you have that, like, that music that plays, because I guess I should have said this first, but I'm referring to Echo the Dolphin, too. It has that, like, eerie music, and then it gets to a point where, like, that is a retro game that gives another example of my Final Fantasy 11 game. That game, I didn't play to play. I put it in, I listened to the music, I stare, like I would be mesmerized by the art, like when the title screen it shows the main character's face and but it was drawn so dark, like so moody, where it just kind of captivates you and you're just kind of like becoming like one with it in a way.
Right.
And like that's the type of place where it's like instead of playing, you would just casually move around and stare at the background.
It's more for the experience.
It's more for the experience than actually just playing for the sake of playing.
Right.
It's more to enjoy the scenery, go explore, listen to the music, enjoy the small things that no one really pays attention to. And that's why even to this day, that's the fucking shit that stands out to me. I would go down, I would swim as deep as I possibly could and stare at the fucking background. This really moody, like, coral reef, perfectly drawn in the background. And then, like, you can even see, like, kind of like a little glitch in the screen that comes once in a while that is supposed to imply that the water's kind of, like moving a little bit. Yeah. And it's just, like, it's things like that. And I also remember, like, when I was in a good mood, I would pop that same game in. But instead of going deep and, like, staring at the background, I would swim on top and jump over, swim with the other dolphins kind of thing, and look at the background. It's like, I think those are the moments in video games that need to be treasured the most.
Yeah.
Something like when a video game can be so powerful that you don't just play it to play it. You think about it and you go, you know what, I'm having a bad day. I'm going to pop this game in just so I can experience the music again.
Right.
Kind of like my collection right now for my viewers. If you guys don't know, I have an insane collection from Nintendo, Sega, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube. Like, any console you can think of, I have, with the exception of Xboxes. And this collection, though, comes on starting by me wanting to get Sega. That's all. Or not Sega. Sorry, Super Nintendo. And I can emulate any game I want, as most of all of us can, pretty much.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to buy the Super Nintendo just so I can feel what it was like to have the controller again and, like, play a game the way it was supposed to be played.
Right.
So I think those were my games, like, they're like the very scenic, very calming music type games.
Yeah, the ones that really, like, draw you into the experience and the overall,
exactly.
Like, mood.
The one that's supposed to draw you in the universe, not just fucking play me, beat me, leave.
Yeah.
All right, it's not a prostitute.
90% of the games now.
You gotta experience it. You have to fucking be, well, you have to be tender with it.
Gently press the button.
But it's like, I feel like most people forget that. Like, most people, well, almost everyone is all about graphics nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is personally very disturbing to me. And most people are just about competition now. That's what video games all are nowadays. Competitions. Do you play a shooter game at all? Well, then someone plays it better than you and you have to know it.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about competition. Oh, you play an RPG? Well, I beat that boss faster than you did. Like, even I was a higher level.
Even games that, like, are supposed to, like, draw you into, like experiences, almost like a Journey and Flower, but I don't want to say, I shouldn't use those as an example, but games that
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
That was all about scenery and looking nice, and obviously it was a puzzle. It was fun. But you can captivate yourself in the world. You can have fun. You can jump on your horse, jump off your horse, and grab a bird and fly for a little bit. Like, it was about having fun. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to overcompensate for what it wasn't. You know.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, and even even with modern games now, like Red Dead Redemption, and Grand Theft Auto 5 particularly. I spent a lot of time mainly in the mountainside of Grand Theft Auto 5, and in Red Dead Redemption on its own, it's a really good looking game. That was one of the games that I would pop in and just get on a horse and just, like, travel through the land.
Just go.
Yeah, you just fucking go, man. But because it was so well done. You see the flora and the fauna going around. You see the animals. It was really detailed the way Rockstar made that old Western type of world, and I think that's something a lot of, like, the games should pay attention to. It's just the amount of detail instead of
they should focus
going into win.
Yeah, they should focus more on pulling you into the world, not making it openly known that you're controlling the world and hurry up and get through it, type thing. I'm actually seriously, Joe, you don't have like fucking any game that would ever like remind you of anything that would captivate you, like
I guess
anything that was like,
What's a game that like really kept you coming back?
yeah, anything that would like is extremely like personally special type thing, not just thinking of the game as a game, but thinking of it as an escape to something that was really like amazing, something that would like just like make you not focus on your daily problems, kind of like
honestly, like the game I would, it's World of Warcraft. It's nerdy.
World of Warcraft. There you go.
There you go.
No, don't worry about being nerdy. We're GameBangz.com. We are the nerdiest out there.
I fucking played DCO religiously, dude.
Dude, I was in that too. But yeah, World of Warcraft's got me.
I've checked that out too.
It's got me coming back and quitting and coming back and.
Yeah, I checked that out too, and
coming back.
That's one of the games where you quit. You're like, you know what, I'm done with the game, and then like 3 months later, like, I really miss like going to this area, you know, and just like swimming in the lake or some shit like that. Just something casual. It brings you back. That's what
I miss. I miss in the most game because I have max level characters.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not the current content that keeps me coming back. It's the, going back and soloing all the old dungeons that nobody plays anymore.
Yeah, because
all the old content.
I know exactly what that is. Because now at this point, is you don't really have anything to work for it. If you have max characters, everything you need, you beat the game.
If
and
there's no updates coming, you gotta.
Then you just want to fucking just fuck around. You just want to go and you want to go fucking swim. Like for me, one of my things in Final Fantasy was I really like to fish.
Yeah.
I remember when you used to do that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I got level 100 in it. Like, and I fished for that rod where you have to catch like 10,000 fish. It's
really?
like it's insane, but it's because I did it for fun. Like I didn't do it like as a chore or as a quest. I did it. I'm like, you know what? I really like this scenery. I have an ocean side. It's gloomy. It's pretty, and I'll just I'll fish right here for a bit just so you can enjoy the scenery. And I just happen to catch fish as I'm enjoying the scenery.
Right. So do you still play WoW?
Me? Yeah, I'm currently playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and play.
Nice.
In a way, I do too. I don't pay for Final Fantasy 11. I have a private server now.
Oh really?
Yeah, so that's like none of my information on there, but I literally got the private server just so I can log on and go to these places. Like,
now, is A Realm Reborn
14? It has nothing to do with 11.
Okay.
Nothing to do. It's just the second online game for Final Fantasy.
Okay.
That's it.
I could have sworn I heard from somebody that was like 11 like remade or something like that.
Hell no. They would never remake 11 like that. We've played the shit out of it. We've had people from 2002 that play right now. I personally know people who have all maximum jobs. Wow. You know, every job in the game maximized and every mission done. There's no reason why they would have to do all that twice.
I see.
You know, it's not a remake. It's a whole different world from Vanadil to, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Orza, I think. It's Eorza, something like that. The nations are different. The cities are different. The races are the same. And now there's both genders for every race.
I see.
Before it wasn't kind of like that. And now you actually can have jobs like mining and stuff like that. Not just something extra you can do, but extra and it counts as a job, you know?
Right. You know what's a game that also got me back just for its natural like ambiance?
What?
Skyrim.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Skyrim.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
For me, mainly, it's always like the older retro games because those remind me of happier times, you know? But like that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like you play Skyrim to fucking death, you do everything you can, and then you're like, I don't want to play it anymore. But I do want to go over here. And I do want to listen to music.
That's like the type of thing with like for me in Skyrim, I would always get sidetracked from the quests that I needed to do. You know, like I would start a quest and then somehow end up in like the polar opposite map of where I was supposed to go just because I got distracted by like, you know, like the ruins and searching for like the dragon walls for the words and whatnot. So it's just that type of open.
It's the openness.
That's what I like.
That's what it is. It's the openness. Warcraft, Final Fantasy 11, that even Echo the Dolphin, despite it being a 16-bit Genesis game, it was an open map. Really, obviously everything is preset, but just like Echo, man, Echo is preset, but it was vast enough where you can just casually cruise through and really take the time to appreciate all the work and effort the designers put into it.
And you know what's funny? I hated Skyrim for the longest time.
Yeah, I
did too.
remember you told me about that. I loved it from the beginning,
I
but
bought it twice.
Really?
I bought it, played it, fucking hated it. I took it back and then I bought it again.
didn't want it.
Here's
And then
how
I wanted
like
it.
I came to it because I played Morrowind from the one that you installed on my computer. I loved that one. Then when Oblivion
Morrow was challenging though. Right?
Yeah, it was challenging, but with command control.
Yeah.
You're God. When Oblivion came out, I bought it, and I wasn't a fan. I didn't play more than an hour into it. My cousin, on the other hand, he got
Noah?
Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up getting Fallout, and he kind of played it, and he didn't like it either. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me play Fallout. Here's Oblivion, and we kind of traded for a while. I fucking ended up loving Fallout, and he got obsessed with Oblivion. Like he ended up just like getting all the expansion packs for Oblivion and whatnot. And when Skyrim came out, he was well into the game, and I still couldn't play it. Like I would watch him play it, and I'm like, fuck that game. Yeah. I wasn't into it, and he was like, dude, borrow it. It's really good. I would borrow it, play it. I wouldn't get past that
The very beginning.
Yeah,
Riverwood.
Riverwood. Yeah, I wouldn't get past Riverwood. I would go. The furthest I got was Whiterun.
Oh, okay.
I would go into Whiterun, and I'm like, I'm done. I was like done with it, and I'll return it. Finally, I don't know what it was that just sparked in me. I was like, you know what? Let me borrow it again. This was like months later. I played it. I started playing it, and I made my archery character.
Yeah.
And I was just obsessed with
Yeah, right? It's what it does.
So
there's always
sucked
something
into
in there.
like the world and all the different quests that you can go to, especially when Dawnguard came out. Loved Dawnguard. And here's what kills me.
Yeah.
My data got corrupted.
Shit.
When I looked at the overall time that I had on that character, it was well over 122 hours.
Damn.
Well over. And
yeah.
And I came to I noticed the fucking data was messed up because I loaded up the game. This was like a month or two ago. I loaded up the game, and I was missing like all of my bows, half of my spells, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I wasn't near the house. I was like, that I dropped it off, and I'm like, okay, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. And every time I would try teleporting, it would just freeze. So when I ended up looking into the save file data, I saw the little.
It said corrupted with the crack in it.
Yeah, with the little crack, and when I pressed more information, it said the name of the character, and the amount of time that I had played into it, and I was just like, "Fuck,
I'm done.
Fuck,
I'm out."
Did you play again after that?
I have not played. I want to so bad, but like when I think of my character, was like pretty much mastered in archery, sneaking, and forging, and I'm just like,
there's a quick glitch. Well, it's not a glitch. It's a cheap shot, but
the Osgam Infinium.
No, but if you're an archery character, you could go to, what was it? The top right, not Winterhold. What is that?
Top right.
Top right. That is Winterhold. No. Yeah.
Or you think it's at the top right or something?
Ulrich's place is Winterhold, right?
Yeah, that's
all right. It is Winterhold, but there's a person in there who you can pay to teach you to train you in pickpocketing.
Mm-hmm.
You pay her, and you pickpocket your money back, and you.
I've done that.
And you keep doing that, and you level up like crazy.
That's actually what I started. What I did in the beginning with Fendal.
Got it.
But you only get to so far. Everything else that I like after that initial glitch with Fendal, because when you have him as your companion is when you can do it.
Oh yeah.
So when you have him as a companion, you have him train you, and you pay him, and then you go into his inventory, and all your money's there. So you'll say, "Hey, I want that back."
Oh wow! I didn't even know you can do that.
Yeah.
I was talking about some girl you just pickpocket.
No.
That's cool.
Yeah, with Fendal,
it makes it easier actually.
Yeah. With Fendal, whenever you start once you have him as a companion is when you can do that.
But that also reminds me the whole nostalgia. Like for example, in Oblivion, it was great learning all the new stuff, and then the unfortunate part about Oblivion was, regardless of what job you choose or what job you create or what skills you say is your major or minor, they all can hit 100.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, all your characters can be the exact same, regardless of what you choose.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a buzzkill a little bit. There's also like, all right, I want to play a thief, and you level up your sneaking, stealth through like Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, and blah blah blah. Then you're like, now I want to try Mage Guild, but oh, I'm a thief, so break a brand new character, do all the shit again. So that was kind of agitating. But one thing I did like to do. I mean, the whole point of RPG is like role playing.
Yeah.
And again, it was all about experiencing the scenery and whatnot. And one thing I would always do is dress in like these dark clothing, like a Mystic Dawn clothing.
Mm-hmm.
We have the hooded clothes
Dark
and the
Brotherhood?
robe.
Yeah.
And no, Mystic Dawn, the red one from the very beginning with the people who
Oh,
assassinated
okay.
the emperor.
Uh-huh.
But the really dark clothing, grab a torch
Mm-hmm.
and have a long sword. And like when it comes to like feeling like a badass, make sure I'm overpowered. And then wait till nighttime when it's when it's dark out
Mm-hmm.
and you're out in the middle of the wilderness and you're just slowly walking down. I don't even just run, just like slowly make my
Right.
character physically walk. And you know, you have that music plays that is beautiful music, regardless of how the game's played.
Yeah.
In addition, a beautiful skybox.
Oh yeah.
There's a million stars. There's like fat ass planets right in your face. And
Detailed.
very
as fuck.
detailed. And then you're just like slowly walking through, and every time someone passes by you, you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you, and you pull out your sword, and it's like I had fun doing shit like
Yeah.
that. It's the whole point of it, at least.
The whole
Yeah.
role playing aspect.
Yeah, the whole role playing, just enjoying the scenery, whatever the case may be. It's just I feel like not a lot of people actually appreciate the time and effort designers actually put into the game.
Yeah.
They think about mechanics, they think about the story, but they don't think about the small details. And I feel like combining all the small details put together, it makes a big fat picture.
You know what's funny? I think now with the new generation of games, now is where detail is going to be most crucial.
Yeah.
You know, because you have these powerful machines and being able to
Raising the bar.
yeah,
Definitely.
like for example, like in Second Son, that game is fucking gorgeous. I mean, just from like the screenshots alone that you can take now, to when you're like running around Seattle, just like the reflections and everything that those little minute details that you like look at, it's fucking awesome.
Those really are.
And that's also another game that like gets me in the feels too, because it's a very different story arc from where Infamous 1 came from, because Infamous 1's story was awesome. The ending, because you know how you have like the good ending and the evil ending, they were kind of generic. It was almost the same thing. But what I liked what the developers did for Second Son, they looked at all the trophy data from Infamous 2, and they saw that like the majority of the people had chosen the good ending. So based on that ending is where they started Second Son. So like the whole like concept of choices like ended up playing a role in real life,
Yeah.
and that's how they based off that story of Second Son.
That's
No shit.
Yeah, because originally the director of the game, he wanted to go with the evil ending of Infamous 2, where Cole, like spoilers, Cole kills a Sikh and ultimately becomes the Beast, and he starts activating all these conduits and killing people. That's the ending that the director wanted to go for. But because people, chose to go with the good ending and sacrificing Cole, this new character comes into place.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
What about your N64 days?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, was that
Mario
it? Was
Kart.
that the nostalgia there?
That was my shit.
That and Pokemon Stadium?
Mario Kart, yeah. That brings back some like childhood memories.
That's the point, man. Nostalgia, like, coming back to the very basics is.
Yeah.
I feel it's also important. It defines what type of gamer we became today.
Yeah. I miss like hooking up like me and my cousins with four controllers, just playing the multiplayer, trying to pop each other's balloons. You remember that?
Yeah.
You didn't have. Did you have an NC?
No, I played it. I had the
You played it?
emulator.
Yeah.
I didn't get the privilege to have the nostalgia.
Haxor.
Haxor. Haxor. Haxus.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario
That-
Kart was fucking amazing.
Another old game I can think of that's just awesome is Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country.
That shit, I know all like the tricks where you like jump over like the cliff and you like pop you to the end and like that.
Donkey Kong Country
that
is
game is
a
awesome.
sweet game. Man, going through like the hidden walls, finding
Yeah.
like rhinoceroses to ride and stuff, like
Yeah.
it's pretty.
All the secret rooms where you gotta find like the golden
And the
match the golden animals.
yeah, and the one-up balloons. Wow, Gray Fox looks stunning there too.
It's amazing.
That's gonna sound random on the podcast now.
Just got silent.
But yeah, that there was I feel like since I didn't really own the Super Nintendo too much, but I had played on it before. I don't have too many nostalgia games from Super Nintendo, more than I have nostalgia just holding the controller. I'm
Yeah,
playing with.
I
I
do
do-
feel.
I do have 2 nostalgia games for sure that's on Super Nintendo, but it's because I played them on Sega first. And one of them was Soldiers of Fortune, which, we played briefly
Yes.
earlier. Soldiers of Fortune, that was something I used to play with my brother. And I have also Zombies Ate My Neighbors, that one as well. Like
Yeah,
those
that's a
two
big
ones.
one for you.
Yeah, that's one that's like the childhood game for me,
Yeah.
This is something I just like went straight into, and it was hard. I never beat it even to this day, nor Soldiers of Fortune, nor Echo for that matter, nor Final Fantasy 11. I didn't beat any of those nostalgia games, but because I spent 90% of my time experiencing the levels, enjoying it,
Right.
and I never actually. I don't know. I really didn't want to complete them. I felt like if I completed them, it'd be kind of close the book on that. And I know I can always go back and play it, but it's just something I'm not willing to risk.
Yeah.
Kind of terrifying.
Another big one for me is this one because I hunted this fucking game down on the computer for the longest time. Let me see. Let's see if you can think of.
It's a game you hunted for the
Yeah,
longest time.
I had you try to look it up for me and install it on my computer too.
And I wasn't. Oh wait, just because you said that, it's kind of bringing back memories. I don't recall what it was though.
You eventually did it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I am awesome. No, I eventually. What system? So yeah, I do know the event you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out which game it was.
It's a biggie
It
too.
was-
It's for me. It's like up there with Metal Gear too.
It was up there, right? It was something that wasn't like related to that though. It was.
No.
Wait, what console was it on originally again?
PS1.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And I got you the PlayStation 1 emulator.
Mm-hmm.
Symphony of the Night.
That's the one.
Symphony of the Night, Castlevania.
Symphony of the Night. That's a big.
I
one for
fucking
me.
remembered.
I still play it. To
It's still on the computer thing?
it's not on my computer thing now. I have it on my PS3.
Oh, okay,
Because
because
they-
you can
they-
download it now, PlayStation Plus, right?
Yeah, in the PlayStation Store they had it for like $15, and it's one of those games that for a PS1 title, it had length. For
Yeah, it's pretty
a
sweet.
2D side-scrolling game,
Kind of like Spyro.
yeah,
This took a while to
it
beat.
took a while, and
Especially for 100%.
see, this game went beyond 100%. If you weren't
Oh.
clever to find certain items, and you beat the game at 100%, you were doing the bad ending of the game.
Oh. And you
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't want that.
yeah, you're basically only doing like half part of the game. For the people who don't know, spoilers. Look away. Click that stop button right now. But for the people who do know, you had to find a set of special like goggles that you had to equip.
I remember that only because Leah's done it recently. I just
Yeah.
heard the game too.
Yeah, you have to equip a special set of goggles so that you don't kill Richter Belmont. You're able to see that he's being controlled by this sorcerer called Shaft, giggity, and so when you like are able to like kill the spell that's taking over Richter, this new portal opens, which takes you to the inverted castle, which you literally play in the same castle, but everything is upside down, so you're like walking off like the ceilings and whatnot. But all the monsters and their level have upscaled to what you are and are even stronger than you.
Shit.
So what you were like one-shotting up until you got to that one point, now it's like you're basically starting from all over again. Because the game ends at 210%.
Wow.
Yeah.
210. Does that mean like in the game's eyes it's like 12% of the game because it's backwards?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking huge. And it's also it's one of those games that the soundtrack leaves a grip on you.
It grabs you.
Yeah.
Something you'll remember like 15 years later.
I mean, I have
He always drops his phone.
I have the fucking soundtrack
On your phone.
on my phone.
That's actually a good topic too. Like, Joe, did you own a PlayStation 1?
Yes.
What? Oh yeah, I see the SoundCloud.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. All there.
Wow.
All there. And it's it's that type of like composing, and even on a PS1 title that like sticks with you, Like it's there was the main theme when you first start into the castle. That's the one that like just like stuck with me.
Yeah.
I even have that on my iPod.
Yeah, I got shit like that too. Which actually brings me, I think that's a good topic since we all actually have that console in common. What is your favorite nostalgia games from the PlayStation 1? Obviously, Symphony Night for you. Personally, I would have to say Spyro 1 and Spyro Ripto's Rage.
I have a lot more than
Yeah,
Then
part
your
3 was good
Symphony
too,
Night
but it
too.
wasn't, it's not nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
But 1 and 2 is Duke Nukem Time to Kill.
Yes.
I know you tried to introduce
Yeah.
me to Land of Babes, and I've still yet to play it.
Yeah.
But Time to Kill,
Time
man.
to Kill's better.
It was so dark. It was gloomy, but it was interesting. I mean, like, one thing that even stands out to me is, like, when you would do the side jumping. I said it a few times for another list, but do the side jumping with the freezer gun and freeze yourself and shatter. Like, that was dark, man. And the one level that stands out to me the most, though, is the western level.
Oh yeah.
The second level.
Yeah.
There's a guy hanging in that level. You fall down a pit, literally full of crap. That the naked girl in the bathtub, the whole 9 yards. But that was the level for me. You guys, you recording that or what?
I am now.
YOLO. But yeah, that was
Hashtag 420.
that was definitely the level for me. In addition to Duke Nukem Time to Kill and the first two Spyros, Final Fantasy IX stood out to me too.
Yeah, I know that game like really stuck with a lot of PS1 gamers.
Yeah, because
Wasn't that game that had like fucking 13 discs? Or
no,
nine discs.
no, nine only has 3 disc. Most of the Final Fantasies back in that time had 3 discs, 2 or 7, 8, 9. I think 8 actually had 4, but the 4th disc itself was the final boss fight.
Oh, okay.
Whereas I do recall from the Spyros to the Duke Nukem, one game that stands out to me like crazy, Rollaway, Kula's World, the beach ball in the sky.
I've never played that
No
one.
idea.
I haven't shown you guys yet.
No.
I just bought it recently for $5 at Cali Games.
Oh.
It was a sign too, because I was like, I've been looking for that game for years. I didn't want to spend $40 online, and then fucking I told I asked Cali Games about it. He go, no, we sold out. The last time we had it was 2011.
Fuck.
But I showed up in person anyways. I was like, let me see what you have. And I'm just like calling out all these random games, and they fucking had it. They're like, oh, my computer is wrong. I guess we had it for $5. Sold.
Score.
But that one's like a techno-y music. Actually, I just did a review for that last night. I believe I sent it to you guys.
I have
I
to read it.
just did it. I did it when I was drunk too, so you definitely have to read it and let me know.
Okay.
But that was one of the ones that stood out to me the most. That Devil Dice.
Mm-hmm.
Devil Dice. No, it has a really addicting multiplayer. It's multiplayer. You have 5 different devils, little different colored ones: blue, green, yellow, and purple. And I said 4, but but there's like 5 different colors, and the whole point of the game is like there's dice in the field, and you're standing on them, and as you move, they physically turn, right?
Gotcha.
And so you pretty much just have to combine 2s and 2s, or 3 threes, 4 fours, 5 5, 6 6. And obviously, the higher you go, the more points they're worth, and those points turn into like little orbs and physically attacks the other players and takes their health away. And if you get these dice and they're slowly sinking, because that's how you know you get them, and you roll a 1 right next to it, all the ones in the field are health, and they come straight to you. So yeah, it became really addicting. It's a really enjoyable puzzle game. In addition to those, Spyro, The Devil Dice, Duke Nukem, Roll Away. Dude, Roll Away is still a really...
I'm going to have to look that one up.
I mean, I have it right here, too, but it's a pretty big one. I mean, what about you, man?
PS1, the ones that really ring a bell is Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. That was PS1.
Crash Bandicoot for a lot of people, but not for me. Oh, man. Crap. Hi there. Fuck. No. I'm just kind of... He's right in the middle. Wow. Well then, well, I'll just try to edit that part out. I guess I could stay in the camera over there. You're kind of off camera too.
That's okay.
We have to huddle together.
No, I mean, I still you just can't see me because of the buttons.
Oh, that works out. But you think Crash Bandicoot, that's the one I actually never really got into.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, I'm with Joe on that one.
Well, I never bought it. I'm not against it. I want to try it. I really do.
It's funny.
It's
but,
fun.
but see, the one that stuck with me was Crash Bandicoot 3. How about you?
I was like, can you verify this?
I just know we had like 2 of them. I couldn't
he
tell
just
you
knows
which
there
ones.
was a Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I mean...
Not a diehard fan.
Yeah, I'm not a diehard fan.
There's several games on the PS1 that stick with me other than Metal Gear and Castlevania, like Tomba.
Tomba. I only had the fucking demo.
Tomba was awesome. Tomba
You remember?
was on the PSN store.
Oh shit! Do you remember the 90s? They used to send you a demo disc to your house for the PlayStation 1 games.
Remember they used to have hidden demos. If you clicked L1, the freaking frames would like rotate.
I had the Tomba was one of them. The little pink hair kid. That was such a weird game. That despite what it is, I had fun with this demo. Elmo's Letter Adventure.
The podcast has taken a turn.
I know, right? It's just I used to abuse the hell out of demos, no matter what game was on there. And then I played. Was it Rayman? What was the big guy with a laser gun? He had like a white suit. Like a white suit with like a blue belt type thing. It was a jumping game and you shoot lasers and
sounds so familiar.
It was like Rayman or something like that, but it wasn't Rayman because I know what Rayman is, that armless guy.
Yeah.
But it was something like that.
God, that sounds really
Earthworm
That
Jim.
does sound really familiar.
Did he shoot lasers? Earthworm
He had a little laser pistol with a big suit and a blue belt.
That's what it was then.
I see.
I don't remember the head though. So I was like that. Another one on the demo was Jersey Devil.
Yes.
Jersey Devil.
Yeah, I like that game.
That thing pissed me off beyond belief.
Yeah, same here.
And that's when the angry video game nerd was born.
Yeah, Jersey Devil was crazy.
That was the start of the rage.
That was the start of the rage of my childhood.
Yeah.
Even after Mario.
And
that was a demo.
And there's one game to this date that I still need to fucking have that I haven't been able to find. I think my best bet would be eBay, and that's Digimon World 1.
Oh, I
never got into Digimon.
I think I pirated that for you as well too.
We tried looking for it, but we never found it.
Oh, you're looking for like a very rare copy, aren't you?
Yeah, and on eBay you can probably find it for like $20 or higher. But yeah,
buy it now. Probably Amazon.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
that
no.
That was one that like really stood out as a child. Tomba 2 as well, Crash Bandicoot 3, Medieval, the demo for Medieval, that stood out too.
Medieval.
Hitting people with your like arm.
Yeah,
There was-
flailing that shit around.
There was another demo that we used to play religiously. It was so fucking funny, and I remember exactly why it was funny. Hot Shots Golf.
Oh.
The very first one. It's probably the only golf game you'll ever see me play.
I've only played the PS2 version of that.
Oh, the PS1 though. The PS1 version, it was so amusing because we would play multiplayer, Damon and myself, and you would swing, and then like you either do good, you do bad, whatever, and you get on the green, and it's like nice on, you know.
Yeah.
And then the part that killed us though is it shows your ball from close up, rotates the camera, and shows your character from the spot you hit it from.
Fucking bail to the ball.
Spraying their ass off. Gotta get it. Like
that was awesome. They retained that for the PS2 versions that I played. It
made it just random shit for it. That was amusing, man. We would play just for that. Just to see him run.
That's crazy.
It was so adorable.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of PS1 games that really fucking stand out.
Dude, PS1 was definitely a start of. I don't know. It was just the start of a transformation into legendary, right? Yeah. I mean, I do feel bad. I liked it back when it was a Nintendo and Sega race. But I would just be devastated if PS1 ever came out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm sad that Sega didn't make it. Sega was a good company.
Yeah, Sega went from console to not developer to publisher.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they are. And now they really don't do shit.
And even then, right now, a really mediocre publisher.
No, I know. Sega's brand has been down. They pretty much sold Sonic.
Yeah. Sonic is
a shit. Sonic used to be legendary, and that was something they did right. It was so right. The first 4 games. Yeah. Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. Mm-hmm. But then they came out with the 32X, which obviously, looking back on it, was just supposed to be a cheap, quick fix to try to catch up with Nintendo. But I really wish there's any game company would just focus on their own shit and stop trying to outdo each other. Just focus on your own shit and try to better your own shit. Yeah. And I feel like Sega would have lasted a lot longer had they just, stopped rushing shit. Yeah. And I'm kind of glad Sony's out here because even though Sony and Microsoft they're not game people. Come on, they're computer people. Business. They're businesses. Nintendo and Sega are games. That's what they are. And because Sega got desperate for attention. They got desperate to compete. They just threw their budget under the bus. They're like, you know what? Don't make a new system. Just make an add-on to this one. 32X. 32X was great, but that's only because I grew up with it. In retrospect, it was not that great. It was good, and it actually did well. It looked amazing. Mm-hmm. I mean, well in that sense, it didn't sell too well. Yeah. And that's what Nintendo did. Nintendo kind of took it easy and then slowed down because they're like, you know what? We beat Sega. At first, they were like, we beat Sega, and that's it. We beat Sega, so now we'll just focus on our games. And then they had, N64, GameCube. They were doing pretty well. Yeah. And Sony comes in, and all of a sudden, now Nintendo's the new Sega. Now Nintendo's the one struggling, like, oh my god, I gotta keep up with Sony and Microsoft, and they're just throwing stupid shit out there, like the Wii U, which was just terrible.
I think the Wii U has some potential. I think the Wii itself had the lesser of, interesting games.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
The Wii was, majorly for little kids.
Yeah.
The Wii U, though...
If you had a Wii in your house, you had a little kid running around.
Yeah.
But the Wii U, though, is, you can't really design a game... design a console with intent when you only have one game that anyone ever looks forward to. They're building an entire machine pretty much for a single game when it comes down to it. They're going to make several, of course, but...
I mean, there's been several successful titles for the Wii U.
Yeah, those are hit or misses, though. Those are just...
Pikmin. I heard Pikmin...
Oh,
Pikmin was good.
Pikmin's a good one.
Zombie U was good.
I never even heard of that one.
Yeah, Zombie U, I heard it. I've heard a lot of...
But nowadays, no one would... right now, no one would go to the store and buy a Wii U if it weren't for Smash Bros. or Mario or Mario Kart or Mario Party.
Well, I mean,
Just those exclusives.
Just those exclusives, that's
Nintendo
it.
owns.
And you were talking about there was one good game that was cross-platform, and now part 2 is exclusive.
yeah.
And they're being desperate. That's why they're really struggling to survive, and that's just how it's going right now. Really, they're gonna be the new Sega. Eventually, they're just gonna wind up becoming nothing but publishers.
I'm surprised they've
I'm surprised they made it this far
held the
too.
graph, yeah.
The 3DS supposedly almost bankrupt them. So that's
Really?
yeah.
I can imagine the 2DS doing that.
Oh, no, 2DS wouldn't bankrupt them. Only
Dude, they've had so many of those. 2DS, 3DX, 3DXL,
You'd be
3D,
surprised.
or
You'd-
DSi.
DSi.
Yeah, they're throwing all their balls in a handheld court.
Yeah.
Fun, but like the 2DS actually did better than the original 3DS
Really?
because no one could afford fucking like a $300 handheld.
The 3DS was over $300, was it?
It was up there.
It was.
They
Really?
had to fucking
It was
they
up
just
there with the PSP.
they had to
Wow.
fucking just chop the price in half because there was no fucking nobody buying it, and that's why the 3DS almost made them bankrupt.
That's insane.
And then they did a stupid cheap alternative, like not a cheap move, but a physically purchased cheap alternative by doing a 2DS so you can play 3DS games. It's just you don't get the 3D console, and that's it. And now those sold more because those people can actually afford. Nobody wants to pay console price for a handheld.
I guess you can also see that in the limited edition versions that they constantly keep making.
They always
Like
have to
the-
keep making
the-
those, hoping people like
The
I'm a
Legend
collector.
of- The Legend of Zelda,
Legend of Zelda,
one,
the
the
Mario.
Yoshi,
I got heard the Zelda 3DS, so.
Okay.
So yeah, I just feel like Nintendo is becoming the new Sega right now. They're struggling to stay afloat, but they're pretty much throwing their money out the window while trying to stay in competition, and it's just not going to work. Seeing how Microsoft and Sony are really big businesses, they don't just specialize in games, and when your budget's only for games and nothing else, you really don't have as much to work with.
I mean I can see Bayonetta and Brawl and not Brawl Super Smash Brothers bringing in
That was
some
that
more.
was the exclusive one you were talking about, Bayonetta
Yeah.
Part 2.
But who knows? I mean, hopefully they can find something because I mean it's with Nintendo. It's gonna be Pokemon, Mario, Sonic, and whatever like
You know,
third party.
that's one thing that would fucking help them if they would just grow the balls and do it. They made an online Pokemon game with all the fucking Pokemon to capture
Yeah,
and free roam to
that
all of it and make sure it's actually challenging as shit so no one will beat it in a day.
make it an MMO.
Yeah, and then you can make it into an MMO and make it pay to play. That might help.
That would definitely. Oh my god, I can see the Wii U being successful with that.
Yeah,
With that big time.
exactly. Or at least, at the very least, even if you don't want to do the MMO, invest the time and money into it, and at the very least, you can make a 3D Pokemon, like not just like X and Y status. I mean, make it a console Pokemon,
Right.
not a handheld one.
Yeah. they
Make it a
seriously-
free roaming world with fully animated characters.
Yeah, they need to really grow out of the style that the last 5 Pokemon games have
And
been.
stop fucking creating garbage can Pokemon and just fucking focus on the ones that are already out and move the fuck on. No one else wants that.
Yeah. But I think that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our nostalgia right there. And this has been another podcast from GameBangz.com. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jordan.
I hope you guys are still alive.
Yeah, it was a long one, I know.
Yeah.
Almost an hour long, if not more. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
If you made it,
Later
you deserve
days.
a Chewy Chips Ahoy cookie.
Chewy Chips Ahoy cookies. Ahoy cookies. I like that.
I'm fucking addicted to those.
Still
I can never.
Bye.